Alright, this is my very first video I'm putting on my little Sprig Dude channel. I will be putting some other videos of long trips, I think solo kayak trips, overnighters, and I think I want to put a series of those to start out with here shortly. But here on my first video, I'm just going to do like a quick trip out on the lake that I live on, and this is like my test intro video. But I think the first trip that I'm going to put out there is the Tuckasegee River I just recently did. It was 40-something miles, I think, about that. And it went from, yeah, anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and go over like the gear I use, some of the lessons learned. I also did a 34-miler down the Rappahannock River, and a lot of people do that, and just give kind of some tips about, you know, water levels and the flow rate, and, you know, where you might want to camp, some of the better spots to camp at, and just some information about the gear I used. And that's how I started out. But here, just my first video, little intro. Out here on the lake at 6:30 in the evening. I think we started to get dark about 8:30, and I'm going to start out with a watermelon culprit. I don't know if this is a culprit actually. I think this is a zoom, but it's got a watermelon worm with a chartreuse tail. I still got a pretty good light, so I'm hoping this will do better. I had a red culprit on there. I was thinking I'd go with something a little lighter and might catch some glimpse from we're still getting pretty good sun here in the summertime, so we're going to go with this and let's see how it works. So the tactic I'm using with this this zoom worm here, this watermelon with the chartreuse tail, is I'm casting it up here on the edge. I got some bushes overhanging the edge pretty good, about 8 feet out, and right about where those bushes hit the water, where they end, right above the water, there's a drop off, and I'm basically trying to hit that shelf and catch some bass here at about 6:30 that have come up into this shadow area. The sun's gone behind the trees, and they're just kind of moving up into the shallows. Plus I got the wind in my back. It's not a heavy wind, so that should bring them right up in here. So I'm going to start by trying to work that shelf and see if I can't get anything. If not, I'll move either a little deeper, but I might move up further up in there. I'm not catching jack on it. I moved from that watermelon worm to a grape culprit and try to work the kind of the drop off towards the center here of this lake, and the lake has basically a finger that goes back and it's fed by 2 creeks. Now working both, the edge where the sun had gone down behind the trees on that same side. Started just bringing it down that shelf, trying to work different depths, just haven't gotten anything. So I'm going to move down to these 2 creeks and see if I can get something there where those creeks kind of spill in. Obviously that's a common place where you might catch some fish, and see if those bass are hanging out there patrolling. Finally hooked some little booger in here, right here at this creek. Little baby. Oh well. No big boys in here to grab it. Oh well. We'll put the little minnow back. Go for the next one. Got it right here. There he is. There he is. Ooh. All right, buddy. You're a little fighter, aren't you? Yeah. Nice little bass. I wonder if you were the one I saw patrolling up there. Not much, not me, a little guy, but we'll take you. Oh, you knocked my worm off. Come back. I want the worm. Come around to this side. This is really where I want you anyhow. Alright, calm down, little guy. You're that little guy patrolling up there, aren't you? Alright, let's see here. Come on out. Got Barb, a little guy. Not very big. Not very big, not big at all. He's a teeny guy. As my buddy Stu would say, he's got good color. He's got nice color. The other guy, he had beautiful color. He's beautiful, gorgeous little fish. Alright, let's go for another round. By the way, I've switched baits. Now I'm using a Zoom, red Zoom here. I don't know if you can see that. He's red. Red and black on the back. Little Zoom. Looks like a culprit, you know, a little curly tail. I reference a culprit, man, for everything on these worms because that's what I grew up with as a little kid, going down to the hardware store and buying culprit bags of culprits. I thought they were the best thing in the world, man. It's like, oh, look at those worms. Got so freaking excited. How old was I back then? I don't know. 8 years old, 10 years old. Alright, let's go for another one. What I'm going to do is show you where I'm fishing right now. And it's on my little lake that I live on, but I've got a creek coming in. It's entering in at least 2 spots, maybe another one around on the other side. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I saw a bunch of little bait fish up in there, and then I saw a couple of small bass kind of, you know, cruising the shore. So I've caught 2, one little baby one, as you saw, and one a little bit bigger, not very much, but I'm going to keep working, see if I can't find one a little deeper, maybe off that shelf, and see if there's a big one in here. Just kind of looking for these bait fish. Let me show you this spot. So what we have is right there, we have a creek coming in, a little sandbar out here, and I'm fishing around off of where that water comes down, and then there's also an entrance for the right over here where the creek comes in, also comes in right here. So I'm just fishing as that drops down a little bit, probably about 10 feet out. It starts to get kind of deep, and that's where I'm gonna work in that edge and working it a little deeper depths. Cast it up in there, kind of work it out, let it drop, work it up at an angle towards the surface, and let it drop again, trying to see where these guys are. Yep, that's it. Oh, right. Yep. Yep. You done fighting me? Alright, let's get you right here. Little bass. Where did he go? Oh man, he took my worm with him. Oh, there it is back there. Crap, gotta get my worm. Ah. Damn it. Better sit this right here. Get my worm. Come here. Come here. There we go. My little Zoom curly tail thingy. Red one. Are you all ripped up right here? Oh, you are. All ripped up. There we go. Boom. That tip is so messed up. Alright. These are those little tin split shocks. They're not lead. I don't know. I thought I was being environmentally conscious. What the hell if I know? cancer. Hell, I've had cancer. Well, I was running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that want it on me, 2 that want it on me. 1 says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, and take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheel drive you crazy. Time to head back. I need to hit a couple spots on the way back. I think it's time to cruise on. Getting on. Time to get 8 o'clock. Time to head back. Boy, that's beautiful.